In this video, I'm going to show three pretty shocking clips about what is going on in the food service industry and handling of food with regards to mass immigration. The point of this is not to point fingers or make fun of anybody. It's just to explain what's going on, see how we can get out of it. But let's just take an objective look at a few clips here.
Welcome back. A local health unit investigation is underway after images appeared online of an apparent meat delivery in West London under questionable hygienic circumstances. With more, here's Jerry Dewan.
The images that have appeared on various social media sites show uncovered meat sitting in the back of a rental truck at the rear of Aladdin's Food.
So imagine, like, let's just go back to this for a sec. Imagine renting like a truck, where people would do, like, if they're moving, right? You put your couch, your bed, a bunch of big stuff, some dressers, and this is just like all meat carcasses just right on the floor. This is really not normal to ever happen. Like, I can't even imagine, like, this is so not Canadian culture. I can't even describe how this isn't, but let's just
Rental
see
truck
kind of what's
at the
going
rear
on.
of Aladdin's Food. Those
So,
images
okay, so it's Arabic writing. Again, I'm not trying to blame anybody specifically, but this is not going to fly, in Canada. Like, I used to like going to this type of place, but now, videos like this are scaring me a little bit to think, is that how you're delivering your meat? Like, who else is doing that? This is certainly not how any Canadians would handle food. Okay, now let's just take a look at this. It says here Quebec grocery stores repeatedly fined for rodents. Let's just see what's going on in this store.
Rodents, mold, and cross contamination. Between
Oh, I had it going a fast. Sometimes I watch these videos in fast. Okay.
2021 and 2023, inspectors with MAPAC, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Food, repeatedly found food safety violations at several Montreal grocery stores.
Donc, pour nous, la présence de rongeurs, c'est automatiquement un danger imminent.
At Marché
Again,
BKR's
look here, right? Marche, whatever, Arabic writing.
two locations on Jean Talon and Laurentian Boulevard, MAPAC inspectors on
And the news is they're sensitive to mention this part because they feel like they're doing harm to the community, and it is tough. If you're one who's from that part of the world and you're here and you're, being really clean about it, this does ruin the reputation. But it is interesting to point out, like,
7 different
what is
visits
going
found
on.
mouse droppings in food preparation areas, on store shelves, and inside packaging that had been chewed through. In March 2023, the Saint Laurent location was forced to close for 9 days because of a cockroach infestation and the discovery of raw meat in an unsanitary location. 2 months later, in May of that year, inspectors were again called
I
out.
mean, they got it. Like, people are getting food poisoning, they said. I mean, this is unbelievable, right? It's not like a little technicality type of thing. Last clip I'm going to show you also shocked me. Watch this. Um, so some guy's walking down the street here and he's noticing here is a restaurant worker from a foreign place. And I'm just going to pause. This is a storm sewer on the street. So everybody sort of owns this. This is where all our water, like the rainwater and everything, goes down and gets collected. It's very important to kind of the health of a city to have these things running properly. And it's extremely expensive to fix. And this guy's out here dumping a bucket of like unwanted restaurant grease down these things. And I'll tell you one thing about Canadian culture is, like, my mom, if I dump like the tiniest bit of bacon grease or like almost even a plate of bacon grease down the drain at home, she'll like lose her mind. Or, because we're just so into, like, hey, this gets in there. You can imagine it's slick, it collects bacteria, and it's like, how are you going to clean it? Now, if you're from someplace, I can imagine, because I've said in many videos, I've traveled a lot. If you have very, very cheap labor that goes in and does these dirty jobs, I don't know. Like, I think it's disgusting, but maybe that's how the society can work. But in Canada, like, we don't have a lot of really cheap labor. So people that are dealing with the city storm sewers, like, these guys are paid a lot. And nobody wants to do this. And it was very, very expensive. So even if you think, oh, what's a big deal? Somebody else will take care of this mess. you really have to understand, like, not really. Uh, a Western country like Canada runs on the fact that most people, like almost everybody, thinks polluting in this way or ruining stuff for everybody else, even though it won't affect you directly because you're just dumping it and everyone's sharing the cost to clean it up. This kind of thing really makes people upset. So this guy probably has no idea. He's thinking, oh, what's a big deal? I'll just dump it here. I don't see why everyone's making a big deal. But I'll tell you, this is very expensive. It just makes the country and the cities like have so much less money to do things that we want to do if we cannot just be clean enough ourselves. So, like, what's my main point of showing these three things? I'm not going to say, like, local Canadians, are we perfect? Absolutely not. Could I find videos of, I don't know if I could find videos of this, honestly. Could I find videos of like local Canadians acting dumb? Absolutely. No question about it. But we also have to have an honest conversation about, like, how do we stop um, this kind of thing? Like, if you're going to open a grocery store in Canada or you're going to have a restaurant, it's not just about like, oh, we have to educate them. Like, we really have to make sure that, like, I don't know, they really need to know, like, this is brutal. And I don't want people to be racist. I don't want people to go and say something mean if you see, people of the same culture that are doing this. But we do need to stand up and say, like, this is way worse than you think, any of this. Like, we have standards. We just, like, this is just not how we can behave. So it doesn't take many uh, of this type of behavior to really, like, even if it's a small percentage, it doesn't take much to really cost other people a lot of money, make them sick, and just really bring down the quality of life here. So we need to have an honest conversation about what is allowed, how do we say what's allowed, and how do we be really strict about it and not make excuses? Because let's face it, like, we don't want to just shut down immigration entirely, but we do need to radically up the quality and just really demand a steep learning curve where it does not take very long. Like, once you get here, you better figure it out. Like, this is how it works. These kind of things are absolutely not acceptable. So anyway, love to hear what you think. I'm very happy with the comments recently. Again, share the video, like, comment. Love to hear it. I do get back and forth in the comments. I got another one coming up, so we'll see you in the next one.